anything along those lines that might be affecting you in your life, how about some free legal advice? Well, this is a spot that you've received that for well over 30 years. We'll try to answer your question. We don't send you a bill, and it's all courtesy of Beatrice Kopp. 330-729-9977, 330-729-9977. I have 2 lines available in the Youngstown area if you have a legal question. 330-729-9977. We go to the law firm of Beatrice Kopp, and hopefully the kingmaker himself is there, Attorney David Beatrice.
Bueller.
Attorney David Beatrice. Hello, Dave. Attorney David Beatrice. Well, apparently he's not there. Isn't that interesting? Let's try something else for a change. Let's see. Attorney James Melfi.
Ron, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. Well, it's always nice to hear your voice, James. Hope life is treating you well today.
It is.
And do we have anyone else at the big round table with you today?
Mark DeVecchio is here with us tonight.
Ron, how the heck are you?
Well, there he is, DeVecchio, who's been absent for a while. He's back sometimes. He's just always a joy when we have the best family law attorney that you're going to find, folks. He's sitting right here on this very broadcast. And
Great
I'm
to
telling
be
you
here,
that
Ron.
much right now. You find an attorney that's a good guy, that's got a great conscience, that works for their clients, and is just a reasonable man. I found exactly that. It's Attorney Mark DeVecchio.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Ron. I appreciate it.
Well, mean every bit of them. Everyone who meets you says the same thing about you. Mark's a straight shooter, a good guy, folks. So if you got any family law issues, you want Attorney Mark DeVecchio. And he's good at what he does. Wouldn't you agree with that, Melfi? Would you give me an aye, Captain Melfi?
Aye, Captain.
All right. That's all I can seek. All right. So we got you 2 guys. So I guess Dave and Frank are absent.
Frank's on vacation.
And I think David's coming down.
Dave's lost in the building somewhere.
All right. Well, let's get the show going then without him.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, he thinks it's Wednesday or something. All right. Attorney DeVecchio and James Melfi, let's start with some calls and questions for you guys. You're on the air with our attorneys tonight. Hello.
Yeah, it's an honor to speak to the greatest attorneys in the state of Ohio. I got a situation. I got 2 questions that relate to it. I got a brother-in-law who is going to visit from Florida. He's 72 years old, and he is prone to having fainting spells. And he's had a number of them over the years. The challenge is he doesn't know when they're going to happen, and he wants to come up here. And when he comes up here, he wants to use our car for transportation. So my question is, number one, if we let him use our car knowing that he's prone to these fainting spells and he faints behind the wheel and gets in an accident, causes an injury or property damage to somebody else, can we be held liable for that? That's the first question.
First question,
Yes.
Conceivable you can. If you are aware of the condition that he passes out, you could be negligently entrusting the vehicle to him, and you would be charged with negligent entrustment. Should there be an accident and should there be damages, you could be on the hook for the liability.
Okay, good. Then the second part of that is, I appreciate that. So let's say he decides to get a rental car, and I drive him, say, to Youngstown Airport to pick up a rental car, knowing that he has this condition, and now he gets in an accident the same way in the rental car. Could I be held liable for that, for, say, contributing to him getting a car?
Well, I mean, you're not renting him the car. You don't own the car. I would imagine he would have to fill out some kind of a questionnaire prior to renting the car. If he fills it out accurately, they may not rent him the car. I think they may ask if he suffers from a medical condition that would prohibit him from driving or cause some concerns.
Yeah, and does he have a valid driver's license in Florida?
He does, and it's beyond both my wife and I why he still drives and doesn't take Ubers or do other things. He's got a son down there, but he still continues to drive, and he kind of sloughs it off as though it's not that big a deal.
Use your car.
Yeah, so if in the rental car scenario, you wouldn't be held liable.
I agree. Don't let him drive your car.
Here's an easy answer. Don't let him use your car. How about that?
Simple.
That is as easy and straightforward as we were hoping to hear.
All right.
I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate what you do.
All right, Ron, I'm back. I'm here. I'm on TikTok Live. Of course, hello, TikTokers. We're doing our radio show. We don't have it where you can hear the people calling in because our producer hasn't gotten a stream key. Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Welcome, David. It's nice to.
I'm
add
sorry
you
I
to
was
the,
upstairs. I had a very productive day today. Wouldn't you say I had a productive day, Jimmy?
Very productive.
I had some good news on some cases, and yesterday I got my butt kicked, but today I scored some touchdowns.
another day.
Mark.
That's
I scored some touchdowns. You know, Frank's not here.
I know.
He's on vacation again.
I know.
Okay. Brian's not here.
Right?
He's on vacation again.
Oh, Brian's on
Mhm.
vacation.
Yeah,
I thought he was
well,
working in
two of
Tampa.
them- No, working.
Oh,
No, Brian's on vacation again. Frank's on vacation, but
we're here.
the three horsemen
here.
are here.
We're working.
We're doing it. The ditch diggers are here.
That's right. We're keeping us in business.
That's right, Ron. We have any more calls, Ron?
Absolutely. First of all, welcome, and I'm glad you're with us. So onward we go. You're on the air. Hello. Line 2, are you there? Wait a second. It helps if I push the button. Hello there, caller. Are you there?
Yes, good afternoon. Thanks for taking my call. My question regarding when purchasing an automobile from a dealership in the state of Ohio, are you required by law to submit your driver's license and social security number to the dealership in order to purchase the vehicle?
I just bought a car not too long ago. I don't remember giving them my social security number, but they did make a copy of my license. I do believe.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, if you
Yeah,
have,
I mean,
Are you applying for financing
Yeah,
on
especially
the
if
car
you're
as well?
financing it. They need your
Are you
information.
no,
financing
we paid cash for the vehicle.
I would
I'm not-
imagine that they would need your driver's license because they would have to transfer it from one name to the other.
yeah.
Let me ask you this, caller. When
Caller?
you say you paid, when you say you paid cash for the vehicle, how much cash?
No, he took him a certified check.
It was about 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah, but you take him a
No,
check
no,
or
no,
cash.
Well, it was check.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes, Dave, it would.
I
If he's writing
understand
a
that
check-
they have to fill out that form for the federal government, but when you when you withdraw that cash from the bank and get a cashier's check, sometimes the bank makes you fill out that form. But when they take
Well,
that kind of
yeah.
money, they also have to report it to the government because anything over $10,000 they get all sketchy about. But we settle personal injury cases all the time for more than $10,000, but we get a W-9 at the end of the year.
Right.
They might have some requirement
that-
there. But listen, here's what I tell people. They're always skittish about giving out their social security number. I'll give out my social security number on the air, and I have LifeLock. And anytime someone tries to go open up an account, even myself, I get a notification from LifeLock. That's the best money I spend on anything.
Well, you've
Well, let
had
me-
some scares prior to getting LifeLock.
Okay, but
Right.
let me ask the caller this. So your question is they wanted a copy of your driver's license and your social security number, correct, caller?
Yes.
And you want to know specifically why they needed your social security number.
Did you ask them
Can I-
that?
Well, yeah.
Can I ask you a
Yeah,
question?
it-
I just want to ask the caller that. Why didn't you
Yeah.
ask the person when they were asking you for it what they needed for?
Oh, I do all the time. I fence with these.
And what did they
you
say?
can't go anywhere without. I can't return a box of nails at Home Depot without my driver's license. My wife was just at a retailer here.
No, I'm not
this
asking
afternoon
about
fencing
your.
with them.
I'm not asking about your driver's license. I get that. If they're asking for your social security number, why wouldn't you ask the dealership what do you need it for before you give it?
I did. I fenced with them. I said, "Is there some law that requires me to submit my social security
What'd
number?"
they say?
And you know they want it. They look at you like you're crazy if you fence with these guys
Well,
on it.
then
Well, tell 'em-
go buy the car somewhere else then if you don't want to give them your social security number.
Or
They either
don't-
got to give you a
Every
reason why they
single
need your,
dealership is like this.
they either got to give
maybe
you a
somebody
Here's
that
the
can
reason.
call.
Go ahead.
If you pay for the vehicle in cash and the
Well,
cost exceed 10,000, the
That's what I
dealer must
figured.
complete IRS form 8300, form requires social security number.
Yeah, but the point is also that they could get issued a W-9 like
Right.
we do with our
PI.
things, with our PI cases. That's the reason why, is because I don't know, had you wired them the money, it probably wouldn't have been a problem. But the fact that you withdrew 50,000 or got a $50,000 cashier's check, there's this form they got to fill out with the government.
8300.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and how about the driver's license number? Is there a specific requirement a law that requires me to give them my driver's license in order to purchase a vehicle?
Well, you can't drive. They can't let you drive a car off their lot without having a license. That they could have some.
Well, that's my responsibility.
No,
Not the
well,
dealership.
no,
That's
no,
your
no,
responsibility.
no, they
That's my
They
responsibility.
can't wash their hands and say, "Hey, we sold the guy the car, but we didn't check whether he had a license or
We
not."
just talked
Yeah,
about
did you-
negligent
Right, yeah,
entrustment.
did you hear the last caller? If they negligently entrust the car to you, not knowing that you're a licensed driver, they can incur liability.
Yeah. These are
Okay,
questions
yeah, I
in
think
life
it's,
that really you shouldn't ponder that much, to be honest with you. And I don't know why people don't use wiring more. You know, when I
Yeah.
bought up my car
Well-
last time, I wired them the money, and I didn't have to deal with any of that.
Well, they wanted our Social Security number before they even knew how we were going to pay for it.
Well,
At any dealership you go, they.
Well,
so-
look, I guard my Social Security. I'm not as cautious about guarding my Social Security number as I used to be, because I have LifeLock. But anytime someone says, "Give me your Social
For
Security
those
number,"
of us who don't, that's what I'm saying. Is there a specific legal requirement?
we just
that I
told
have
you
to
the
submit
reason.
that to-
We just
to
told you the
purchase it?
reason.
Here's an email caller for all you guys. This guy says, I just left the Nissan dealership in West Hills Nissan in Moon Township. My lease was up and I had to make my decision. I decided to purchase it and not get into another lease. They absolutely need your Social Security number.
There you
So
go.
there you have it. All right.
Okay.
Thanks. You're
All
on the
right.
air.
Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your question?
I want to know if I need an attorney for a process server.
No, I mean, a process server does not have to be an attorney. However, they have to be recognized by the clerk of courts in the county where you're having the person served. They have to be registered as a process server. Now, if you have somebody in mind that's a certified,
Okay.
yeah, you would file a motion to have them certified as a process server. It would be signed. Then the clerk would get everything ready. Your process server would come get it, and then they go serve them. Now, you could ask the clerk
Okay.
what the names of people that are already
This is the
recognized.
complication. Okay. I got engaged. The lady lives in Lorraine, and she pawned the engagement ring for drugs.
Oh, jeez.
I live in Camel. I'm a doctor. I call Ron once in a while, but
You didn't catch wind
Do
that she was a
I
drug addict before you got
have
engaged
to
to
go
her?
up to Lorraine Court.
Yeah, I mean,
Where
typically,
did you go? Wait a second. Where did you give her the engagement ring,
And when?
and when? No, where? More importantly,
At Pier W, first weekend of March in Cleveland.
So you'd either have to sue her in Cleveland or where she lives.
yeah, it's where the action took place or where the defendant resides. So since you got engaged in
Okay.
Cleveland, you could file in Cuyahoga, or you have to serve her where she's at.
I don't mean this bad, but you got engaged to someone and you didn't know she was addicted to drugs, or did that happen afterwards?
No, no. And I'm a doctor, so it's bad on me. Do I need an attorney for this?
How much was the engagement ring?
$6,000.
You can go to small
Yeah,
claims
sue her in
court.
small claims court.
Good luck trying to collect it.
Yeah, if she pawned the ring
Yeah.
for drugs, like she's probably not collectible.
She don't have a pot that you know what in or a window to throw it out of.
Okay,
Chalk it up.
thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
Hey, Ron, maybe I should hang around Baba Ganoush.
There you
Baba
go.
Ganoush.
Thank you.
There we go.
As the kids say, he's gonna have
You're
to take
on
it
the
out.
air. Yeah. Gonna tell.
Oh.
Unfortunately, you're on the air. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, I charged for the DUI
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and they don't have my blood alcohol content. I went through my preliminary hearing already. I went through the CRN evaluation and the drug evaluation. They don't have my BAC so far. August 13th is my actual Mercer County court.
Do you have a
Which
lawyer
decides
representing
everything.
you?
I do not. I'm wondering, should I get one?
I would-
I would get
one.
What is
Get
the
one.
terminology I can use to get this dismissed?
Well,
A lawyer's going to be better equipped to get it dismissed.
First of all, here's where people's misnomer is. They don't have to have a blood test to convict you
Of OVI.
of OVI. A lot of people think that, and that's not the case. They can prove impaired driving by other means other than a blood test.
In
It's
fact-
harder for them.
A BAC is a separate charge unto itself.
Yes.
Having a blood alcohol content in excess of the legal limit is a separate charge from the OVI. So they could charge you with an OVI. They don't need a blood alcohol reading. But if they do test you and you are over the limit, you're going to catch another charge entirely. So, based on their observations,
Now,
they could say
what's
you
their
appear-
grounds for the charge if they don't have no proof?
Did you do field sobriety test?
Was there erratic driving?
Did you tell them you were drinking?
Did you have glassy
I-
eyes, slurred speech,
I-
a smell of
I
alcohol?
wrecked my vehicle and I broke my neck.
All right, hang on a second. He wrecked his vehicle and you broke your neck.
Okay. And did you go to the hospital?
Right.
So they don't have field sobriety tests
Hold on
either.
a second.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. In Pennsylvania, it's done differently. Did they take blood out? Did they take a
I
blood?
did go to the hospital, but they took blood, but they didn't. Supposedly the lab lost it or something. I have no idea what's going on,
Well,
but
you
they
need
do
to
not
get a
have it so
lawyer.
far.
Yeah,
There's
Especially the crash.
I think they have evidence, but I'm not sure. Defense is why you need to get a lawyer. Okay.
It's going to be money well spent
Right.
because if you could beat an OVI, the money you spend on being represented is money well spent. If you don't want to test fate and go in there on your own and try to wing it, because if you get convicted, you can't get that toothpaste back in the tube.
Right.
Okay, you have a conviction. Go in there, lawyer up. It sounds like they have
Right.
a chain of custody issue with the blood test. It doesn't sound like they have field sobrieties. It doesn't, so you have a fighting chance, but you have a better chance if you're represented by capable counsel.
Right.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, caller, before we move along.
Yeah.
Simple question. Yes or no? Were you drinking?
No,
No.
don't answer
Don't
that.
answer that.
Don't answer that question.
Well, I'd say
No,
I'm just
don't
saying-
answer that question. Ron, don't
He said
answer
he
that.
was
Don't
drinking.
ask him and
Plausible
don't
He
answer.
wrecked his
Ability.
car.
Okay, don't
He
answer
wrecked
the
his
question.
car.
Ron, let's take another call.
He broke his neck.
Okay, he has a right to remain
I'm gonna
silent.
find-
Caller, I suggest you utilize it. Okay, let's take the next call.
I'm going to find him
Okay.
guilty.
Okay,
All right.
you find him guilty.
Oh, jeez. I just
You had
did.
3 lawyers
I mean,
just
can-
hump on you saying you were asking, well, were you drinking and driving? And how do I know a
And he
prosecutor's
said
not
yes.
listening to this show?
Ron wants
Okay.
to
And
be
this
judge,
is not
jury, and
this
executioner.
is not
okay?
privileged communication.
Yeah,
Someone could be, if someone hears him calling, they could say, "Hey,
I
he admitted
recognize
it
that
on
voice. He
radio."
admitted on the radio. Okay, let's take another call, Ron.
Well, aren't we
I'm
a little
sorry,
bit snippy here, huh?
you got your feelings hurt a little bit, Ron. I'm sorry. You would think by going to law school for 34 years now, you would have known better than to ask the ultimate question.
I know, but I got him. You're on the air. Hello.
A hoodlum from Haiti.
All right, there
There
it is.
we go,
One.
Ron. Well, there's one. Is that the first one?
There you
today?
go.
Did
First
she
one.
say a hoodlum from
All right.
Haiti?
Yeah, hoodlum from Haiti.
I don't know. You're on the air, caller. Next call. Hello there.
Hello.
Yes. Question,
I
please.
enjoy your show. I had a car in a repair shop. They were working on.
Mhm.
Basically, overnight, he went out of business. They put my car in the lot and left it there. I was unaware of it. And when I went to see how they were doing with my car, the car was gone. So I asked the guys that were working there cleaning out the shop. They said the man went out of business. Where it went, they had no idea. So I went to the police and said the car was missing. I filed a police report. They said, see if you can find it somehow, and we'll report it as stolen.
All right.
So it took about 3 weeks had passed. I went to the repair shop again. There was guys working there. They said, yeah, we saw who the towing company was. And and they gave me the name. And it went from Austintown, Ohio to Niles. They towed it to a salvage yard, but they never brought it inside the gate. They left it outside the gate. And so I talked to the salvage yard owner. He said, yeah, I towed the car, and I've been here for over 3 weeks, and you owe me close to $1,000.
Well, that's what you have insurance
Am I
for.
responsible?
Probably not, but the person
sorry, I
who towed
didn't-
it there is, but they don't have any money. This is why you have insurance. Turn it over to your own insurance company, okay?
Okay, but if I have it towed out of there, can he legally do something to me? If it's
Well,
not
he's
inside
entitled to the
yard?
money, and he has possession of the car. I would get your own insurance
Okay.
company involved. Why are you waiting so long to call your own insurance company? I mean, if
I
the
did
car
call
was
the
gone,
insurance company.
all right. So you made a
Yeah.
claim and tell them you found
They-
it, and see now if they'll pay for it.
Said, well, since it's not stolen, yeah, they said, well, since it's not stolen, we don't think it's worth filing a claim on it.
Well, I don't care what they think.
So,
I think you have a claim you could be filed for.
okay.
All right.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
All right. In this call, we had a caller who took a car to a repair shop. Repair shop went out of business, towed it somewhere, and trying to stick him with the bill. I told him turn it over to the insurance company. We have more calls, Ron.
Oh, I heard the entire call. You didn't have to read
I'm
it.
What a
on
wonderful
TikTok.
summation.
I'm on TikTok,
Yeah.
and because my
Yeah.
producer can't get a TikTok stream key, I'm trying to, for my TikTok audience,
Right.
repeat some of the questions.
All right, so-
Is that all right with you, Ron?
I feel as though when you do that, it's like, when they have an interpreter going on at some foreign thing. You're saying what we already
It's
know.
just deja
that
vu.
kind of stuff.
I understand that.
It really is.
Yogi Berra
It's
said,
really
deja vu.
All over again.
Yeah, we'll get
That's
to
it.
more calls after we do our headlines. He's here, the one and only Attorney David Beatrice, and so the rest of the
All
crew joining us as well. Mark DeVecchio. Yes.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music
Thursday. It's 5:34. Well, that must mean it's time for the second half of the legal show, brought to you by Beatrice Cop. And that's exactly what's happening. Taking your legal calls and questions till 6 tonight on News Radio 570 WKBN. So keep that in mind. And of course, we have standing by at the law firm, attorney Mark DeVecchio, one of the best family law lawyers you'll find, attorney James Melfi, that is with the firm now, and we're happy to have him. And of course, we affectionately refer to
Stand
him
by,
as,
Old Yeller,
Husky.
Husky.
The one, yeah.
Husky. You had to call me Husky? I have PTSD from Husky, that word Husky.
Well,
and
when
if
you're
I
a
have
young
to
man-
look at the word PTSD anymore today,
Mhm.
I'm going to lose my mind. 'Cause
Oh, it's
I have
just
a
taking you
case-
back to the.
You're going
I
to
have-
get PTSD.
I have a case involving PTSD, and I have so
Really?
many. I have so many expert reports on PTSD and how it affects you. It really messes people up. That's
I
all
can
I
imagine.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had an expert on a criminal case say my client's not guilty by reason of insanity because of his PTSD.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's the first time in 38 years that someone wasn't picking, completely off their rocker. I mean, some people that are psychotic or schizophrenic, you can get it. But this person had PTSD, and I sent him to an expert, and he examined him from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. Sent me a
Wow.
report and said, yeah, this guy he was
Wow.
not guilty. He didn't realize the rightness or wrongness of his act because of his PTSD. It's the first
Is it
time.
PTSD from the military?
Yes, he was in the military for 4 years and saw some pretty horrific things. As a matter of fact, he got a disability for PTSD from the military. And he wasn't, he was in active zones, but he was in military police. But this poor kid had to go to crime scenes where a 9-year-old head was blown
yeah.
off. And in an accident where a baby was squished. It was just terrible things that this kid had to see, and it affected him so horribly.
Yeah. Yeah. Justly so. All right, let's take some more calls. That's kind of like, I think I have PTSD when I saw a picture of toe when you stubbed your big toe or whatever you
I
did.
broke it, Ron. And I
Yeah.
have PTSD for putting up with you for 34
I mean,
years. It's a chronic condition now.
Right,
Every
I mean,
Thursday, I start having the cold sweats.
Mhm.
Okay. I start having anxiety, agita, heart palpitations, panic
I-
attacks, and it's
I
all
think
due.
you're,
It's
I
all
think
due
you're in
to
love with
you.
me.
No, I'm
You're-
not in love with you.
yes, those are the signs of a great deal of affection.
Or
You're the type- folks, let
someone
me
that has
tell you-
caused me trauma for 34 years, 1 hour a week.
Let me tell you, folks, this is what you don't know about Attorney Beatrice. When he says, boy, I really hurt my toe. You want to see a picture of it? No, he sends it anyway. So then you look at it and it's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's
It was pretty bad,
disgusting.
wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was like,
Imagine
holy
having
cow.
that 80-pound door slam on it.
Oh,
Some
my
alcohol
Lord.
may have been involved. I'm just saying, maybe.
No.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Maybe.
I would hope
find that hard to
alcohol would be.
believe.
Maybe.
If alcohol wasn't involved, it would hurt even more because looking at the picture was painful.
Probably. A couple days later, the doctor almost had how should I put this? The doctor said if I
toectomy.
waited another couple days, he'd had to
Cut it off.
amputate my big toe. That was not
Wow.
Mm.
Toectomy, yeah.
good.
That
A
would be good.
what?
Toectomy. They'd have to take your toe
That's
off.
not a thing. It's not a word.
Yeah, it is.
Toectomy.
Toectomy.
A what?
A toectomy.
A toectomy. Jimmy, we gotta let's fact check him, Jimmy.
That's a medical term.
No, I don't think toectomy is a medical term.
Yes, it's the removing of the big toe. A toectomy.
Jimmy, check it out. Let's take another call on toectomy. Look, have you ever seen Leo in such a better mood?
You're
Look
on
at
the
him.
air. Hello there,
Look at that
callers.
Smile.
Look at that smile.
Hello,
Nothing
calls.
can ruin his mood right now.
Hello?
Yes. What's your question? What's your
Good
question?
afternoon, gentlemen. Dave, I can feel your pain on the 34 years of putting up with that.
Thank
Hey,
you.
look here. Question. There was a guy who got killed on the soap opera General Hospital. They were still in his catalytic converter. My question is, I thought there was a law where I know you had to show your ID, but you had to show some type of paperwork, and they was trying to stop this from the scrap yards and the mechanics who was accepting these catalytic converters.
Well, believe it or not, Jimmy and I are involved in probably one of the biggest catalytic converter cases in Mahoning County. And so, no, I mean, you can own a scrap yard, and as part of the scrap, you could take the catalytic converters out, and they sell a lot for scrap.
How much?
Our client got ripped off for $600 and some thousand.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're in the middle of that lawsuit. So if it's just a catalytic converter and he's taking it to a place, it's a little different than someone having a scrap yard and selling hundreds of catalytic converters. It's all fact basis. You understand?
Yes.
All right. But you can own your own car and scrap it, take your own catalytic converter off, take your car to the scrap yard, and then go sell the catalytic converter. But, you might have to show proof that it came off of your car. That's all.
Yeah,
I don't know what that has to do with a murder case, but somehow in your mind the two are related.
Yeah, it kind of threw me sideways.
Tell me about, so you have a catalytic converter case representing somebody that stole a bunch of catalytic converters or from a scrapyard or something?
Well, it's not that easy, Ron. It's never that easy.
Never that easy.
But we have a client who may have lost north of $650,000 in scrapped catalytic converters.
Really?
I think the guy that died with the catalytic converter, he's trying to stop the person from stealing it. He got killed.
Yeah, much
Well,
different
hold
scenario.
on. Hold on. Caller, are you still there?
No, I hung up on it.
Okay.
I got a text message. Did Dave have to call a tow truck?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that was what I asked him. Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Someone asked that question.
Yeah.
Just from someone you don't know? You have to know that person. Some random just doesn't
They have my number.
Well, they have your number, so it's a client. And says that Dave have to call a tow truck. It's a client, right?
A former client, apparently. All right, so Lamore calls.
Yes, it's a friend of mine.
It's a
Joe,
friend.
I got your text.
Joe,
All
I
right.
did not have to call a tow truck because I broke my toe, but that's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
Did you
And almost-
check that word?
Yeah, toectomy.
Well, hold on.
It's
fake news.
It's,
Fake news. Ah,
it is not.
fake
It's-
news.
Well, you got to consult the medical journals, the American
He
Medical
did.
Association.
There's no such thing as a toectomy.
Yeah, there is. You know what I
No.
mean? So, I mean, if you
Look
look,
at how
it,
great-
There's
Grave
something
of
called a
mood, our producer.
bachiotomy.
A bachiotomy?
Yeah, a bachiotomy.
Oh my God. This show is going down really fast. Really, really fast.
Legally speaking, after dark.
And you know what? There's nothing that could put Leo in a bad mood tonight.
He's still smiling.
Look at
Leo, if you got to get a bachiotomy, you'd still be smiling.
Leo's smiling like a
Right.
butcher's dog right now.
All right, you're on the air, caller. Hello. Question.
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm calling to explain to the guy who didn't want to give his Social Security number out to a car dealer.
Yes.
A lot of these laws, I'm not sure the exact name of it because I'm not a lawyer, but it's OFAC or OFLAC or something like that. Before we deliver a car to a customer, there's a few things that have to happen. We have to run their ID, their driver's license number, their social, to a system that the government has set up. If they are on a suspected terrorist list or a most wanted list or whatever, it'll send back a ping and tell us, please detain these people as long as you can. And then they notify law enforcement and they show up.
I didn't know there was a law like that. I'm taking you at face value that there is some kind of a
You have
law.
to do that.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know that. I didn't.
Homeland Security to the terrorists, but when we were attacked on 9/11, they changed a lot of laws. They're trying to find terrorists.
Okay.
The same reason that the IRS, if you get over 10 grand and buy a car in cash, we have to turn you in to the IRS.
It's not
We
just
don't have
car
a choice.
dealers. It's me. It's anyone. Anyone taking over 10
Right.
grand in cash. And you know what's funny? Back in the day, they used to have $10,000 bills. Did you know that?
Right.
I think they
Now,
used to have $50,000
here's the
bills
thing.
too, didn't they, Leo?
No, hang on, Dave. Hang on. Go ahead, Nick.
Here's the thing that the consumers don't know.
What's that?
If we were to instruct you how to get around that law,
You're violating
you
the law.
bring 4,000 one day,
Yeah.
you wait 2 weeks, and you can. But if we were even to mention to you, hey, you give me 10 grand, I got to turn this in. We are not allowed to say that.
Right.
Yeah, you're
You
aiding
go
and
to
abetting.
jail.
You're aiding and
If
abetting.
you were a government agent in there and we tried to guide you, they could arrest us and close down the store.
That's correct.
I mean, it's your government. That's what it is. It's not the car dealer.
Well,
government
what they're trying to
forces
do
us
is
to
they're
do this
trying to
stuff.
cut down on the money laundering from the drugs and everything else.
Exactly.
That's what they're trying to cut down
Drug
on.
dealers and terrorists. That's who
Right.
they want to get.
All right.
And
Thank you.
some
Nick.
people, believe it or
All
not,
right.
we had a call the other day from a detective on a client of ours who was withdrawing large amounts of cash, and he was worried that she was getting scammed, and in fact, she was getting scammed.
Wow.
And so sometimes the banks will notify the police, not because the person's doing anything wrong, but because the banks think that an elderly person's getting scammed. Because there's
And
a
it
lot
happens,
of scams out there. Oh my God.
There are so many
There are
scams.
so many scams. In the last month, I've had 3 clients get scammed.
How about I
out
got
of
a text message that said my package is being held up in customs because of an inappropriate zip code and they need me to contact them. First of all, I got no package coming.
Right.
You know, customs, what's it being held up in customs? If I don't recognize the number or the
I
message, or
never
I don't
click
respond.
on links. These phishing things, sometimes I get an email from myself. Here, click on this link.
I get emails from you all the time.
I
This is
know.
David J. Beatrice.
Right.
Please contact me.
Yeah, I'm stuck in jail. or-
Yeah, I need you to cover something for me
Right.
today.
Well, we had the one with the bail form in federal court. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch people. The scam artists are out there and they do what's called phishing. It looks like an official email. I had a client that lost $15,000
Wow.
and they had him believing there was a warrant out for his arrest. And he sent me all the paperwork. It looked really official. But no government agency is going to ask you to send them money through an ATM machine in Bitcoin. That just is not
Yeah,
a
that-
thing.
Yeah.
That should tip you off right there.
But it doesn't to a lot of people, especially the elderly.
No, it petrifies them.
Yeah.
But you know, and the elderly fall for that. But did I brag? I got 3 extended car warranties that I just signed up for.
I don't sign up for any car warranties. You know what, Ron? I signed up for
They're
Social.
always
3 months before you turn 65, you have to sign up for Social Security. My phone does not stop ringing now.
From who?
Well, I guess there's some way that
Mhm.
these people could get your information from the government, and everyone wants to sell me a Medicare gap policy or whatever. I just said, and it'll come up. It'll say spam.
Unbelievable.
I'll worry about that in 34 years.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Shut up, Jimmy.
right. All right. Let's take more calls. You're on here with the
I felt-
attorneys.
I felt
Hello,
good telling him to shut up.
Yeah.
didn't it? Go ahead.
caller.
Hello.
Yeah. What's
Hello.
your question, please?
Yes, I have a question about elections.
Okay.
Go ahead.
When you're a candidate, like a local candidate,
Yeah.
Mhm.
more than anything, I'm asking. When people say derogatory statements about you or things that aren't true, are there any repercussions towards those people?
Political speech is the most protected speech. I have seen some cases where if it's really outlandish, you could sue them, but generally,
If you're a public figure, if you're
yeah.
running for
Yeah.
office,
well,
you're a public
I mean,
figure.
it's still there are some rare exceptions.
Yeah, but you're
But the
kind of
po-
fair game.
You're not kind of fair game.
You are.
You are fair game.
Yeah.
And here's the point: if you don't want people to talk bad about you, don't run for office.
You're in the wrong game.
You're in the wrong game.
Yeah.
And the higher the
Politics
office
can
that
get
goes,
dirty.
the more incoming you're going to get.
That's not
So either-
true. Our presidential candidates are not saying anything bad about each other.
Oh, really? so here's
I
the
was
point.
just thinking more on a local level with the,
Look. Here's the
races that
thing.
we have coming
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you don't want people saying bad things about you, don't put your name out there. And I tell people, if you're going to run for office, get a tough skin, because people are going to lie about you, say all kind of things about you, and say all kinds of nasty things about you, and say you do this and you do that. And so if you're thin-skinned, maybe politics isn't for you. Because here's how I learned it. And I've been involved in politics a long time.
And you have a thick skin.
I cannot control what people say about me. But you know what I have 100% control over? How I react to what people say to me. It's not what people call you, it's what you answer to. That makes the
Right.
difference.
That's a good point.
All right.
All right. Thank you, caller.
Like I call Ron
And
a lot
say-
of things, and he answers to every one of them. I say, "Hey,
Absolutely.
dummy," and Ron goes, "Yeah, what do you need, Dave?"
I'm used to it, Dave. When I go home, I hear it. So I answer just about everything. All right.
That was funny.
You're going
That
to be
was
all
funny.
right? All right. All right, Husky. Hang on. Here we go. Next call. What's your question for our
Yeah, I heard
attorneys?
you talking about catalytic converter theft, and I just reminded myself that, J.D. Vance introduced bipartisan legislation
All right,
in
we try not to
2020,
get
February
political on this
2023.
show. Does this have a legal
so
angle
it's
to
not-
it?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not going
Just mentioned.
yeah. I don't
You're
want
on
to.
the
Go ahead.
next call. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Your question for our attorneys.
Well, was that me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Anytime
I
within the
wanna-
next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I want a small claims case.
You want a small
Last
claims
call.
case? Go ahead.
Yeah. Haven't been able to collect anything on it. What's the time frame? How long do I have? It was last fall. How long do I have?
How long
collect
before
on
they
that?
go
Revival,
dormant?
revival with judgment.
Yeah, you could. I think it's a couple
6, 7
years.
years.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years. But then you can
Okay.
revive it. You got to refile it.
You can file. Look, the Supreme Court of Ohio has a thing about going to small claims court, like a little guidebook or help. And there's a lot of places if you go on the internet. Thing I've discovered lately.
Well,
is YouTube.
here's what happened. Okay, so we
Put anything in
filed this
YouTube.
one
You can
the-
learn how to fly a jet. You can learn how to go to. You can learn how to go to law school. You can learn how to collect on a judgment. I swear
All
to
right.
God.
Well, here's my question for
Go
you
ahead.
guys. We're trying to nail this girl down as where she works. A debtor's examination.
Yeah.
Would that be something that we could discover where she's
Yes,
employed at?
absolutely.
You need to do the debtor's exam.
Yeah, you can ask for a debtor's exam.
My wife went down to the this is in Columbiana County. My wife went down to the courthouse and she says, "Well, you have to have an attorney file that."
No, you
paperwork."
don't, but they're not going to help you file it either.
You file your motion for a debtor's exam. You'll secure a court date. They'll give you. You could use a room in the courthouse. You go in there. They'll appear. You should have a court reporter.
Yeah.
And then you ask
I'll tell
questions
you what
like,
you do, caller. Put in your search bar in your Google machine how to do a debtor's exam in Ohio, and you'll get a
Okay.
lot of answers. Okay,
In the Google machine?
in the Google machine.
Okay,
That's what I
well,
call it.
That's a good boomer
the thing is, I don't want
Oh,
this to
now I'm
linger
a
and lose
boomer.
out on this. It's a
You
pretty,
got time.
pretty
You
good
got
amount of
time.
money.
It's just from March. You got time. How much money?
All right.
it's close to $1,000.
No, how much time?
How much time since I won a
That's your
judgment?
judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, last fall.
Oh, you're in good shape. It's
Yeah,
good for
we're
5 or
talking
6
like
years.
September of last
Yeah,
year.
you're good or for
yeah,
5
you're
or
not
6
even
years.
in a year.
You're not even at a year yet. But I got bad news for you. The easy part is finding out where they work. The hard part is attaching their wages.
Yeah, you have to certify,
That's-
you have to certify your
That's
judgment.
that's the
Okay, well, here's my other question then. Can I attach property that she owns?
anything they have.
To
But
satisfy the
once
judgment.
again, you got to do that right.
You have to certify your judgment. Once it's certified,
You
then
find
you
a
could
bank
lien
account,
property.
yeah, or you could put a lien on their property. You can attach their car, any asset they have.
Okay,
You
well,
could go after. Now, here's my point: the more pressure you put on them, the more likely they're going to come up with that $1,000.
Yeah, it's almost 1,000. That's
Well, the thing is, okay, now you put a lien on a property. Do you have to, like, you have so long and
No,
that lien, like, expires?
No, that attaches to the property. They ever sell that property, you might one day get a check for $1,000.
right. Yeah, they cannot transfer the property while
well,
it's lien.
it's accruing. We have it set up where it's accruing interest, too.
Legal
so
interest. That's
It might
correct.
be a nice check.
It might be. You're absolutely right.
The operative word might.
Does he have
Yeah.
does he have to renew a lien at any time, David?
No,
Or
once
does
it attaches to the property, it stays there.
It's there forever
Yeah.
until
Not
they
sure
sell.
about that.
I'm
When they go
pretty
to
sure
sell,
it is.
that lien's going to have to be satisfied
I
before
know
they
that
can
once you
close on the title.
once you file a lien on their property, that's it. It stays there. It's like a burden on the title. We have another call,
Let me
Ron.
ask you this. Yeah, let me ask you this, caller. Do you own a large crowbar?
I do.
All right. I think,
Don't
I think-
run. No.
What?
no.
What? What? Okay,
Ron,
never mind.
Ron, don't.
Yes, David. Yes.
Violence. The courts abhor any self-help. So don't use self-help. Go through the legal processes. That's why we have courts.
What?
Yeah, Ron.
Zsa Gabor. Zsa Zsa Gabor has what? Doesn't like violence.
I didn't say Zsa Zsa Gabor. I says the law abhors anyone that takes the law
I'm
into their
sorry.
own hands to try to collect something.
Looks like the judgment goes dormant after 5 years.
No, not on a
On a
land.
lien.
Not on a lien. Once you attach it to the land, it stays there. The judgment might be dormant.
Continued for 15 years after the last date on which the lien was effective.
Yeah. On land.
Yes.
Yeah, so it stays there. Believe me, a title company is going to see it, and they're not going to clear it. Trust me when I tell you, you're good. All right.
All right.
We have any more calls? What time
All
is
right.
it?
Yes. Will you stop rushing us? What
I'm
do you
not
want to
rushing
hurry
you.
for?
I just
What
want
do you
tell
have to go do?
because I have an interesting topic tomorrow on WFMJ today that I
Okay.
thought we'd spend a
What's
couple
your topic
minutes on.
tomorrow morning? What is your topic that you want to talk about tomorrow morning that's so interesting on WFMJ?
They
today?
legalized marijuana.
Well, we knew that.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a difference between a constitutional amendment and a statute.
Oh, okay.
So,
now that's interesting.
See, you're going to learn something here.
Yeah.
So what they did with the with recreational marijuana is it was a citizens initiative statute. Now, with a citizens initiative statute, what does that mean? That means the state legislature can change it. They can't abolish it, but they can make changes to what the citizen initiative statute was.
When did they pass the
Was
Last
last
summer.
November? Last summer?
No, last November.
Last November. So
we're
they
coming up
think-
on almost a year.
Yeah, and they think by 2024. Now, here's what a lot of localities don't know. Written into that law, every locality that has a dispensary, they get a piece of that excise tax.
Wow.
36% of it.
Well, all I know is they legalized it in Vegas, and I was there last week.
And what was it like?
Don't go outside.
You can't go out. No. You
I
walk
told
down the
my
street
son
in
to
Vegas.
plug his nose. I said, plug your nose, Lou. Plug your nose. That's all you smelled.
I understand that, but
so-
you know what? Here's my position on that. There is less harm caused by smoking marijuana than drinking alcohol.
You know what? I did not see one person out of hand. I didn't see
No.
anything like that.
I
didn't
can
even see
tell
anyone
you,
smoking
38
at all.
years practicing law, ain't nobody ever come in and said, I smoked a bowl and beat my wife. But I've had hundreds of clients come in and said, yeah, I drank too much and I smacked my wife around. So believe me, the effects of alcohol are much worse than the effects of marijuana, without a doubt. It should have been legalized long ago. Michigan's killing it up there with the excise tax on recreational marijuana.
So the local community that has a dispensary, the local community will get a tax. on-
36% of the excise tax goes directly back to the local community. How about
that's a
that?
pretty good take. Hey, here's an idea for you, though, and I want you to think about this, Dave. He's going to be talking about this tomorrow on WFMJ Today. Listen to me. This will be really a big tune-in. When you're talking to the anchors, use the word dude a lot. Dude. Say, hey, dude, what's happening is we legalize marijuana, dude.
People get
Okay.
high.
Oh, from the Big Lebowski.
Okay.
Big
So-
Lebowski.
so
Come
Lebowski.
on, Ron. Come
Yeah.
on, Mark.
I didn't know
Yeah,
what
so
he was talking about.
Dude.
Have it
come
your
on,
way, dude.
Come on, dude.
And say the local community will get like 36% excise tax, dude.
Dude.
You know, you throw
But
that
you'd be
in.
surprised that the local communities, they're allowed to ban it. So
Why would you?
no,
I mean-
Youngstown banned it, which I don't understand. I called the mayor today. I go, you guys put a moratorium on it. You got every other shop in there. You don't get direct action from them, but marijuana dispensary, you say you
Right.
don't want them in there, and you get direct money from that.
Well, I'd
Like
take as
Austin
many
Town's
as-
allowing it, Gerard's allowing it.
Dude,
Join me
dude,
tomorrow,
baffles
dude.
me, dude.
Dude.
All right, dude.
That's just your
Thanks,
opinion,
dude.
dude.